What's up, Peanut Man? How y'all doing, y'all? So, I was just reading the chapter by myself. I was just having a discussion with my good friend Kat.
I don't know how I'm in here twice.
Oh shoot, got the freaking clone on me.
Yeah, all right.
But yeah, I was just chilling with Kat. I was just reading the chapter by myself. I heard a lot of things about this chapter, a lot of bad, and I'm gonna still check out myself, but I'm really confused on what's going on. Um, this is so weird. Even about One Piece and older standards, this it makes no quintessential sense. As in the character's reaction, and as in, I mean, probably would be explained how Kimo survived. Probably has something to do with the fact that he can still run around his top half. Whatever. I understand that. But let me make sure I'm live real quick. Let me make sure I'm live. What the fuck is happening? Okay, so I'm not live. Let me see what's going on. Okay, view on YouTube. See, now this is also as weird as what is ever going on, whatever is going on in this chapter. Because I cannot explain what's going on in this chapter. And my computer keeps glitching out. I don't know why. Okay, so I got 2 likes. Okay, so I got 2 likes. Okay, so apparently somebody can see. I can't see it on my end, on my end for the video, but apparently somebody can see this video. Okay, so yo, Kat, you still there?
Yes. Are you still there? Oh no, you dropped out. Hello? Did he seriously drop?
Okay. Well, oh, okay. What the freak just happened? Man, my computer is bugging out, man. I think the weirdness of this chapter is making my computer bug out. Okay. What the freak just happened? Okay, so we're back and we're black. We're back and we're black. Um,
Yeah, it looked like you dropped out, so I decided to drop out as well.
man, you should have held the stream down for a sec, man. You supposed to be the
On my
imagine Zoro just dipping from the crew when Luffy goes away.
dude, I got lost. You know how it is.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. Okay,
I got lost because I was trying to find some booze and my 2 missing swords.
yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. But yeah. So the chapter starts off. Apu and Hawkins, they're just chilling or whatever. Um, you know, and he's telling them to join us. Yeah. But that's not the main point. My main point of what the fuck is happening is Kimon's just bloody body just running around. And if this was a sinning, this would be very dark, very gory, and just Usopp just hugging his bloody bottom corpse, and then Nami and Usopp just proceed to have a normal conversation. Like I understand they're used to weird stuff. They're used to Brook is alive despite the fact he should be dead. You know, and things like that. But I'm just like, Kat, are you also weirded out by their reaction time to this? Like from their end, they gotta be seeing his guts and his organs and all types of stuff. and they're just sitting there just having a normal conversation. Don't you think it's a little weird? Even for One Piece.
I mean, yeah, it's absolutely, it's very strange. I mean, it feels out of character now that you mention it because I would expect Usopp, especially, to be freaking out and saying, "Oh my God, he's bleeding all over the place. What do we do?" Ah,
I mean, if
but
I'm gonna send a link to the chapter for everybody. But in the chapter, he does say, "Whoa, you're bleeding like crazy. Are you all right?"
yeah, but I mean, you wouldn't ask somebody who is in that kind of a predicament, you know, "Are you all right?" You'd be saying, "Oh, damn! What can I do to help this guy? I need to do something."
Yeah.
I
I
mean,
mean, and then afterwards, him and Nami just have a conversation.
yeah,
Just,
right. It's like,
it's
oh no,
weird.
we see people get cut in half all the time. This is normal for us.
Yeah, Nami, and like he's right in front of, he's like right beside Nami. Like all she had to do is look to the left, and she'll see this, you know, the insides. But I'm just gonna
Oh God.
continue.
Ugh.
I'm just gonna continue. Okay, so what the frick? Okay, so Kinemon's bottom half gets attached to a giraffe. Anyways, I'll go with Hamlet. You guys stay with Tama. Man, you just can't get enough of me. I am in your debt. You're truly my friend, Poot. I'll go with him. There is a passage on the first floor that leads to the attic of the left root tower, Poot. Sure, she's barely clinging to life. Please save her, I implore you. Ah, what the fuck? So nobody actually died. Oh damn, that's a gory scene when Kinemon messed up my waifu. Um, bear with it a little longer, Kiku. I mean, no, I meant Kiku. Kiku's my wife, not Kinemon. Fuck out here. Bear with it a little longer, Kiku. Help is on the way. I still can't believe it. I survived being severed in two. I suppose, Law, dude, dude, dude. What the, dude? How strong is Kinemon's pain resistance? He's having a whole conversation in his mind while being cut in half. Can you just not feel pain anymore because he was in so much pain from being cut in half?
I guess it could be shock.
Right. Like he's having this whole conversation. I mean, respect to Kinemon. He's really goaded. Like he's saying to still save this person. I'm cutting in half, but he's still worried about this person. Um, but yeah, man. Oh, okay. Well, I see how this chapter can draw people off so far. I'm gonna continue it though.
Yeah.
Like Kiku and Kinemon are actually dead. Even when they get stabbed in two and stuff, you can't trust characters being dead in One Piece. Obviously, I already knew about this. For
who
me,
who who else who else can't wait to see Whitebeard and Ace come back?
oh brother, don't put into fruition. Freaking Moria's gonna show up. Moria's gonna show up and bring him back.
No, no, no. Even without Moria, they'll just come back and say, "Yep, we healed."
Like freaking, like Ace is gonna be fighting Kaido with a hole in his chest.
Yeah, there's actually a meme of that. He says, "I came back for my fruit."
Like, not only should he be dead from the hole, but also the person dies when they don't have their fruit.
And Whitebeard just has a big scar over scars over where he was damaged by Akainu.
Yeah, if you give me crazy, like Ace just uses his fire powers. Like, how you doing this, Ace? Like, he doesn't even have his fruit. He just uses fire powers, anyways. Bear with me a little longer, Kiku. I know you're freaking destroyed. Help is on the way. I still can't believe it. Yeah, I can't believe it either. This makes no sense. I survived being severed in two. I suppose Law Doro did not completely reattach my body before. What a miracle. Wait, what? Wait, what?
Yeah,
Okay, so since Law didn't completely attach his body before, Kinemon is able to survive. What a miracle. Now please let Kiku be spared. Zoot, hey, answer me, Kiku. That's oh my goodness. Oh man. Seriously though, you might as well have Ace show back up. Pedro's not dead. Pound's not dead.
We can just say that we can just say that Ace's heart was not in the was not where he was hit, and it moved out of the way.
It moved to his butthole.
Yeah, moved to another side of his chest.
That's Orochi's voice, but he was beheaded, and you were cut in half. He seems unaware of Kanjuro's demise. I am here, Orochi-sama. What the freak, bro? Sounds like you're at the break, Kanjuro. Yes, the final. I see. I have nothing to praise. Your performance was masterful. I mean, to be fair, I guess Orochi doesn't have like 8 heads or something. Um, Huff, Kanjuro's fine. Huff, huff. That is flattering to hear. Oh, it's such a troll this chapter. Can you hear it? The cheer he earned for me. Indeed, fortunately, the bitterness and resentment rippling through me means I can't fully appreciate it. Our ancestors remain unsatisfied. Give them a stupendous encore, Conjuro. Use your panting to direct the burning wrath of the Kurizuki clan. Okay. Whenever you see that, when you hear that noise, it's not an echo. That's me checking the volume, make sure it's fine. We will have the last laugh. Let them all be consumed by Kurozumi's clan vendors. Cast all the strangers. You know what? That guy who got shot, earlier at the execution, he's not dead. He's still gonna be kicking.
Yusue,
Whatever his name was.
that daimyo that couldn't
And
stop laughing.
yeah, he's
Yeah,
alive.
he's probably gonna. He's probably. I mean, I actually would want him to be alive, but
How come?
Yasuye, he was awesome.
I mean, a character being awesome doesn't mean they should be alive. They're supposed to be dead. Like we,
I mean, if these two scumbags can still be alive, why can't we have some good characters that aren't only Kinemon still be alive?
Oh, I get what you're saying. I mean, if it's gonna happen to somebody good. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, might as well just say that Roger's not dead. He can't. He comes back.
But Rogers finna show up and save Luffy against Kaido.
I mean, we didn't see him actually get executed.
I mean, no. We saw Kinemon get stabbed. We saw Roger get stabbed, but just he got stabbed in a certain spot where he survived, and then he who was in hiding for years until he seen the next person who takes up the Pirate King's realm and things like that.
Well,
Into the abyss of hell. Drag them as low as our breath and trapped in their graves. Free their souls, Conjuro. Free us in the final blaze of glory. As you wish, please enjoy my final show. That Suicide Pact of the Kurozumi clan. Just some random um red fire thing with eyes. Konzinbu. God, don't touch it. You'll be roasted. What the hell is this monster? Emergency reports coming in. A gigantic unidentified spectacle has appeared on the second floor. Here we go. All I can do is make as many tiny flame clouds as I can. Pant, pant. It's going right through the walls. It's like some kind of ghost. The castle is being choked by flames. And Brooke's gonna cool down with his cold. I'm calling it. Let's get out of here. There's no time to fight. CP0. Marco is still chilling. That's crazy. Marco fought two commanders and he's still running around. Ooh. Oh, Kyle shot his flame breath in his base form. Oh shit. I like how they have the monster tree on this panel. Now this is cool. This is a good part of the chapter. Okay, let me get up. Alright. Okay, so this is getting good. So we're just gonna forget what happened again in the chapter, because yeah. Kind of bullshit. So we're just gonna forget about that, and we're gonna focus on this chapter. Seem like it's gonna be cool now. So yeah. For now, until I get cat talking, I'm just gonna full screen myself. You would still be able to hear Cat if he were to mute his mic, but and things like that. But yeah, the Kazuki forces and the Emperors will be undone by their own hubris. That's really cool though. We got to talk about that later. Freaking Kaido has fangs and he's shooting flame breaths in like his humanoid state. Oh man, this man Roach is just chilling. Oh my goodness. I know all about it, Kaido. Your mastery armory in the basement, stocked with weapons I provided. Light it all up, Conjuro. Blow in the smithereens. Now hurry back, Fuki Rokiju, so we can escape. The pirate war is no longer any of our business. Young master, where are you going? You got Yamato's form. Wow, the armory at the very bottom of the castle. I'm not sure I'll make it. Probably the furries love Yamato in this form. Anyways, I'm not sure I'll make it in time, Momosaki-kun. You got to slow the island down, even if it's just a little. What? Dash, huh? Oh shoot! Uku saw ring crash. What? Who did that? Was that Big Mom? Just destroyed kids, dang. Mama. Let's start with you, kid. Hey, Trafar, can you awaken your ability? I'm not used to it yet. I've only used it when I was near death. It burns too much energy using a real fight. Oh, this chapter's picking up. Mine's the same, but we're not getting anywhere like this. You'll you'll need to back me up and play that ace. Foreshadowing for ace showing back up. Low zoom. Anna is the Tissa. I don't know how to say that actually. It's like it's having something come off of it. Pierce. Sensation is harmless but cruel. Influences your body in other ways. Shockwave. Oh, he made Big Mom bleed. So wait, it attacks her body inside like Ryu, like just like his whatever that ability he used against Doflamingo.
I believe that was Gamma
Yeah,
Knife.
Gamma Knife, that's right. Gamma Knife. It pierced through Big Mom. It like it went through her neck. That just shows how strong Big Mom is. Too. Mama. Mama's bleeding. You little brat. She got stabbed through and she's just this chapter's pretty gory. Um you you little brat, you could use some magnetism. A sign. I'm stuck to you, mama. What the? It's like I become a magnet. And they made her let go of her sword. Weapons are being drawn in. Watch out. What? The steel beams of the towers are being ripped out. What? Trafalgar, get me out of here. Don't tell me what to do. Trafalgar keeps telling people not to tell him what to do because he's a supporting character. Punk trash. Awaken power. But this is pretty cool. Asked the question why I didn't use it earlier, but it's cool enough to where okay, so he just got what the freak did kid do? I kind of get what Law did, not really. I'm trying to figure out what the kid just do. Okay, so he gathered all these pieces together and he just put them all on Big Mom at one time. But how is that awakening? I guess because they say awakening is using the environment, but it doesn't seem to be doing anything different than what he's already done. They still done absolutely nothing, Big Mom, but it's really cool. that they have their awakenings. I mean, kids' awakening is a little disappointing because it doesn't seem to do anything differently. But Laws is pretty cool. The Kunzubo is a demon from the Toriyama Shikun picture book. Konjuko Hayuki Shu, a guide to the 100 demons past and present. It was believed to appear in Mount Toribi and Koto, which was known as an old burial ground in the Heian period. It is portrayed as a beggar's bronze Buddhist teacher who was engulfed by flame and smoke. Okay, so that chapter was not really good, um, but it's whatever. It's whatever. Hmm. Now who am I kidding? That chapter was bullshit. Um, it's fine though. Not really. It's not fine. It's definitely not fine. But yeah, that's one of the reasons as to which I say I'm not obsessed with One Piece anymore. You know, I've kind of moved on to different things. I've been watching Squid Games lately and things like that, and working on my own stories. Me and Kat, we was working on our own stories. It's a secret because we'll probably, possibly, who knows, end up coming out with it one day. I want to continue with that because it was really cool. Um, just to give a hint though, it was something kind of related to One Piece. That's all I'm gonna say about that. But yeah, man. I mean, chapter was a 6 out of 10 or 7 out of 10, maybe. Probably a 6, to be honest. It was pretty annoying that they were still alive. I already read about it, so I'm probably not as upset about it as I would be, and I'm also not obsessed with One Piece anymore as I was before, so that's probably a thing too. Um, but yeah, I mean, eh. I mean, hmm. Kimon, he should have died. Oh wow, people in the comment section are saying Goda after this BS. Yeah, that law shit that's an ass pull, man. The law didn't put them all the way back together. And then just in one chapter, we have everybody turn out to still be alive. I mean, this could possibly have potentially. Oh yeah, by the way, Kat, I'm done reading the chapter, so you can talk anytime. But this could potentially have interesting plot points in the future. Like Oda isn't done using these characters, and so that's how come he still has them around. But at the same time, it feels like this arc is going to be even like 4 years more longer now because of the fact that no one's died yet, and it'll be kind of like almost ruined the emotional weight of it if these characters who were supposed to be dead end up alive now if they die later. But yeah, whatever. I'm used to it. And I'm finna go get me some popcorn. So Kat, I hope you can hold it down for a little bit. I'll be gone for like 2 minutes. Maybe. Not even that.
You're going.
Huh?
You're going to get popcorn.
Right. I'm gonna get popcorn.
Why
I'm
did
gonna
I?
go.
Why did I unmute myself?
Oh, dude, because so we don't just sit here and have just a stream going with no one saying anything.
I can't watch the YouTube comments and be in Streamlabs at the same time, right?
You don't have to be. Just talk about what you want to talk about. Just go off.
Well, I gotta wait for you.
Dude, you don't gotta wait. Dude, if you don't do this, I'm resigning you from the right hand man command. I'm just playing.
I'm just gonna
But
talk to myself. All right.
yeah, that's what I do all the time with YouTube. You like, just talk about the chapter or whatever you want to talk about. And I'll be right back.
So, how's everyone doing? fine. I know I can't actually see your comments, but yeah, kind of crazy, huh? Um, I really don't know how to feel about this chapter personally. Um, it gave me slight Bleach vibes, and by Bleach I mean the last arc, because the way these awakenings were unveiled reminded me of how in the Thousand Year Blood War arc, Shinigami were just unleashing their Bankai, and it did damage, but it didn't actually um, finish off the opponent.
Yo, what's up?
Or oh, okay, yeah, I was just talking about how this chapter gave me some serious Thousand Year Blood War arc vibes, in that Kid and Law basically busted out their awakenings as if they were using a Bankai. And I don't know.
Oh yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that. Whereas it's
I
kind of
really,
like it's no build up. It just came
yeah,
out where everybody just get Bankais. And I
yeah.
feel like Kids was very underwhelming.
I think both of them were, because all right,
Law's the problem with Law is that his fruit is already so can already do so many different things that he almost can't have a awakening because it really just is nothing different than
well,
like if Kid would have just done this normally, I would have believed that it was just his normal fruit, you know. While it being said is awakening because his fruit could
right.
already do so many crazy things.
So, so my I'm sorry, I thought I turned that down even further. All right, let me turn the volume off. Um, so I don't necessarily agree that it's too overpowered, because
But with Law being his fruits already kind of does so much stuff.
it does so much stuff, but it also doesn't. And what I mean is,
Hmm.
we're it gives the implication that it can do anything, but we haven't actually seen Law do everything. He can rearrange things. He can cut people into pieces and attach them to other people or other objects, but that's all he can really do with that ability. He hasn't really been shown when he uses his shambles. It's not like Law has been observed, you know, separating people and then, I don't know, breaking them down even further and, you know, altering their DNA or something like that. That to me would be broken. But, you know, and then with Counter Shock, he has to actually make contact with you to use it. You know, Radio Knife, Gamma Knife also. Um, Outside of Shambles, for me, his abilities are kind of, they're cool, but the only real thing that Law really has is versatility. With
No,
his
yeah, that's a lot though. He can switch people's bodies and souls. He can take out
crew,
your heart. Like Law can do so many. No, I'm saying Law can do so much shit that he almost like awakening means nothing.
I wouldn't necessarily say that. I mean, I
The
can,
reason I say that is because of the fact that if he would have used this ability that he's using right now, okay, so how I put it like this, okay, if he would have used his ability that he's using right now without saying his awakening, it would have been the exact same.
I
It
can
would have
see
been
your
just as
point there.
believable.
Um,
It would have been just as
person,
believable because he does so much stuff.
well, personally, I don't necessarily think an awakening needs to be more powerful. I think it just needs to, maybe, depending on the fruit, it could even give you an advantage you wouldn't otherwise have. So for Law, he needs his room to use his abilities, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I was thinking, wouldn't it have made sense if his awakening was that he becomes his room? Maybe instead of this whole Kroom thing, he kind of wears the room around himself, if you will, and maybe uses like the medical term scrub, because of what surgeons wear when they're in surgery, and he could kind of wear it like a cloak in a way, so he could use his devil fruit powers without needing the room because he's basically wearing it, and then as he uses the abilities, maybe it drains from that room, so the room would eventually go away. That's what I think would have made more sense, because it it makes it more powerful in that maybe he can bust out attacks more quickly. Maybe garbing himself in it instead of holding it in his hand can allow him even more versatility. Maybe he could just straight up. How with I think it's Scan, how he has to pick up an object and replace himself with it for teleportation. What if he could do that without having to swap himself? What if he could just straight up teleport? Um, you know,
Right. All right.
I get what Oda was going for, but the fact that he can already
Have
manipulate
no
people.
fear. The Loner 23 is back in here.
Yes,
Hey, what's up?
sir. What's up, man?
Hey, let me turn
Are
my
you,
phone up. I can.
You're not standing on top of a building preparing to go flying around, are you? And no, that's not me trying to make a comment on jumping. What I meant was because have no fear. I was trying to make an underdog
All
reference.
right, can y'all hear me now?
Yeah, okay.
Okay, cool. How y'all like the chapter?
That chapter was weird and disappointing.
Yeah, I think I think I said earlier, it kind of screams Thousand Year Blood Arc to me, in that
I guess Oda let his friend Kubo write the chapter.
it really does feel like a chapter that Kubo wrote if he was the creator of One Piece, because the awakenings are cool, but I thought the purpose of an awakening was to expand on the abilities that you would otherwise have and take them further. With Law, since he can already manipulate people within his room, I don't really see what the point of this awakening is when it pretty much does the same exact thing he can already do. Just he could already affect your body internally with radio knife and gamma knife. So was this shockwave thing really necessary? Like,
Yeah, because to me it felt like he just did super gamma knife and then just
yeah,
I don't know.
I
It's
mean,
strange.
And
and
what did Kid even do? I'm like confused. What did he do
okay.
differently?
So what Kid's Awakening is that it allows him to magnetize somebody else, making it so that metal is attracted to them.
Oh, that's actually pretty cool. That's
Yeah.
actually might be better. That's actually probably I was hating on doing the chap, but that's actually might be better than what Law was
That
doing.
to me I like, because it also seems as though Kid still has his own abilities. He could just magnetize you. So I was thinking maybe by magnetizing you, he might even be able to. I don't know if this is necessarily going to happen. What if he could actually use the metal in the bloodstream to like manipulate it in some way? So yeah, that to me was pretty awesome. It also implies that Kid might be able to assign on objects in the area. Like maybe if he could say assign and then magnetize the entire area if he wanted to. I mean, I will. One thing I will say for Law's Awakening, I'm glad that Oda isn't making every awakening affect the area around you, especially since Laws already does that, because the room literally affects anything it's covering or that's inside of it. But again, I feel like, I don't know, maybe Law shouldn't have had an awakening. Maybe his fruit should have just been deemed so powerful that instead of calling this an awakening, You could have just had him say, all right, there's one more thing I haven't tried yet, and this is what it is. Because
or it could have been something to where he does have awakening, but it's something to where like he dies afterwards or something.
I mean, you could have done that.
Like later on in the story, that he shows his awakening. Like I never used this because my fruit is so powerful that my awakening is even more powerful when I die afterwards. Something, I don't know, something like that.
That could have been the case. Another way you could have done it, and this is what kind of confused me. If you remember in the anime, I don't know how often it's shown in the manga, when he is about ready to set up a room, you always see like this orb in his hand that expands.
Right.
So basically, what this kroom is it's the same thing as that, but without the expansion. That's why it doesn't feel like an awakening to me, because he always forms that in his hand whenever making a room. So it's like
It's like he's doing the exact same thing that if Ola just said it was awakening to make it hype.
yeah, it really doesn't feel like an awakening. An awakening to me should be like a brand new ability, something you can't do otherwise. And I don't know, maybe you know what it might have been cool if his awakening was that he could use shambles on himself, split himself up, and then reassemble himself as one thing he could do. Because we've never seen him do that before.
That'd been cool.
You know, that's why I suggested. I was actually having this conversation with Espada, where I said to him, "Wouldn't it have been cool if his awakening's name was like Scrub?" And the idea behind it could be how when a surgeon is preparing to go into surgery, they always wear scrubs. So instead of it being called Room, it's called Scrubs, and he wears it. And by wearing it, it makes it so that he can actually affect his own body with the abilities of his fruit. So he can use shambles on himself. He probably wouldn't use counter shock on himself, but maybe he could kind of produce like an electrical effect, kind of channel electricity through his entire body doing that. Maybe he could maybe he could do that thing he did with the shockwave.
Right.
You know, by still stabbing, Big Mom without hurting her, but he won't lose it. Like he'll just use up some of the energy to do that. And then maybe even what was another thing? Oh, another thing that we had thought of. What if in his awakening he could also kind of create certain chemicals? You know how I know surgeons don't do this, but scientists, for example, they're always coming up with new types of treatments and new ways to help people.
Well, he uses treatments on himself, kind of like Chomper.
Exactly. He could. What if he could heal himself? Something else I had suggested. What if he had an ability called transfusion, but instead of transfusing blood, he could kind of drain an opponent of stamina to refill his own?
I thought you were going to say blood. I was like Vampire Law.
No, not blood. It would be called transfusion, but he would actually be taking the stamina from an opponent into himself.
What if he has a transfusion knife?
That could work. Yeah, like he forms it in his hand. Maybe. I mean, you could have even done something like he forms a blade that's kind of not made out of blood, but it's crimson in color. And if he stabs you with it, he can basically infect you with something.
Yeah. Maybe. Whoa! What if he can create like a room inside your body when he stabs you with it?
Well, I think that's what he does do. I assume when he stabbed Big Mom, it wasn't just a one attack type thing. I assume that room is still in her body. So he can probably manipulate her body as well and just continue to do so. But
It's hard to say right now.
It really is because
I,
it's
I have hope that Oda would do more with it, but Cat, I'm not
yeah.
Cat, but Lauren, how you feel about the chapter?
Is he still there?
Interesting, interesting. You know, he's
Oh,
there. He's there,
he's muted because I guess he's at work.
probably. Um, Lauren's the silent, strong type of the group.
Yeah, kids though, I'm very very. I mean, I am kind of bummed that all he did was just drop a bunch of metal on her, but
That's why I died. All that's why. That's what the only thing I died did at first. So that's why
it
I was like, oh, this is shitty.
it does seem as though kids should be able to just drop metal on you without doing that to you. But I get the idea is that doing that to an opponent makes it so the metal is attracted to them, and then you can just hit them with it all at once. But it is so something that's really been nagging me right for a while now, as of reading this chapter. If Oda really did not want Kid and Law to use anything other than their abilities, why did he give them hockey in the first place? Because
Mm.
and you know,
I mean, to be honest
I'm,
though, man, with all this being said, this is still better. This is still better, a better part of the chapter than what happened at the beginning. What happened at the beginning was so
well, right, but it
like how
seems
did Kimon survive exactly? Like Kid Law didn't put his body all the way back together, and because of Kimon's ability to split apart, he was able to split his body apart. Like what?
Oda was just ass pulling to make Kinemon live, and I mean that's just all there is to it. He came up with the most ridiculous. He came up with a way that made sense to him because he really doesn't want Kinemon to die. Um, and I mean that's just you know
And what's really ridiculous about that. Okay, so I yeah, I'm trying to shoot. I can
Did you
live.
guys touch on the Kinemon thing?
we're talking
Oh,
about.
we were just getting to that,
Okay, okay.
but what I would say real fast, and I'll let Lona go, is that I I can zoom past Kingmon being alive because his fruit's ability to split apart, or whatever. I can zoom past Orochi being alive because he has multiple heads. But Kanjiro being alive is just what. But anyways, go ahead, Lauren. What you was gonna talk about?
Okay, well, two things. The one about Kinemon still having lost power on him. It kind of makes me think, why is his power still on Kinemon and then not on, say, for instance, or when he used the shambles on like Smoker and the Straw Hats way back in Punk Hazard. Why? Just I guess what I'm trying to say is how is like his powers like still on him?
Oh yeah,
Because
yeah.
if he if because like he was like, I guess a lost power is still on me, so if it's like something
You know
that's
what?
kind of lingering on you, then if like that's the case, then like Smoker should have the lost powers still on him. Sanji, Law, uh
Right.
Nami, and like people who like Law has come in contact with should also still have power on, regardless if it's like shambles or if he just split him in half.
Right. You're absolutely right because I just looked up on the wiki because I know y'all probably gonna laugh at this, but I forgot what Chemo's actual Delph fruit was. I'm sitting here thinking that his Delph fruit was to be able to split apart. So yeah, I forgot that devil fruit is literally just put a rock on someone's head or leaf or whatever, and then it gives
Yeah,
them those. So yeah, this is actually grade A bullshit. This is actually worse than I thought it was. Um,
and
yeah,
then the other thing was I seen on Twitter that somebody tried to like give the explanation of why it isn't like the deaths or whatever. Talking about that uh back when Oda was like 15, he never liked people dying and like anime. So when he made his characters, he really didn't want them to die, and said he was like, uh, if I kill a person, well, they remain like dead or whatever. And so I guess the people who were supposed to die didn't die because he didn't really want them to die. And I guess the people that he shown and shown got killed, he wanted to die. So I guess uh it was some like article he was talking about. He was trying to please his inner 15-year old self, I guess, or something like that. He said.
absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, that's trash.
Yeah,
I mean, come on, man. Like, you know, there comes a point in which you need to think, all right, and just so everybody's aware, those who are watching, we are not trying to say that we dislike the fact that Kanemon's alive. We dislike the way in which he was, from what we can tell, kept alive. It was the way in which it was done.
Yeah, I have no
Using
hate against Kinemon, but if his character is meant to die, like Kinemon's to me is pretty cool, but if his character is written to be killed off, then I mean,
Yeah, exactly. That's my whole thing. I mean, I know. Uh-oh, Loner dropped, or yeah, he probably did drop. I'm sure it wasn't intentional, but I mean, if you're gonna have, it's. I also feel like it's kind of disrespectful to the character because you're also humiliating Kinemon. I mean, you're leaving him to run around as just a torso with legs.
with his friggin', they could
Yeah,
probably possibly see his bloody parts because it literally like I don't know how that's not registering, but he's literally like bloody, like you literally see his body
yeah.
parts, you know.
And just allowing his upper half to just lie there, unable to do anything, and that's the way you choose to do it. I mean, something that I do want to point out to you, Z, that somebody had mentioned. I'm forgetting. It was mentioned in on the comments of the YouTube video I watched, where somebody said the reason why this makes sense, and I'm not saying it makes sense to me. I'm just saying what they said was that the Straw Hats were the ones that put Kinemon back together. Personally, I don't think that should matter because Law's ability should only still affect you if Law is consciously doing that, right? So
yeah,
It would be
it's
one
what,
thing if it was told earlier that this was able to happen.
right. And I would also think that kid law at this point in time we can say is I would definitely say is a friend of the Straw Hats and of the Scabbards. I mean, he's been helping them for so long now. He's been assisting them in, trying to save Wano and take down Kaido. So, there's no reason why Law would do that. And Law's also not stupid. He was educated as a doctor. He knows his fruit's abilities inside and out. He knows its limitations. He knows everything it can do. Law would not make that kind of a mistake. Now, if this had been set up to where Law had a conversation with Kinemon and Kinemon said, "Hey, can you make it so that my body can split if it's cut in a certain way?" and then Law agreed to that, okay, then I can accept this. But to expect me to believe that this is just going to happen, it's like, so what? So then, why haven't the, like you said, why haven't the Straw Hat parts swapped again? Like, is I even said if this was part of Law's awakening in some way, to where he can, without meaning to, like, reverse things on people he's already affected with his fruit when he's awakened, I would have even accepted that explanation. But to just have this happen when he wasn't
Which
even cut
one?
in half like that?
I want to ask Lawrence something.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead,
Oh,
Lawrence.
go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Go ahead. I was just agreeing with Katakuri, because I said like it doesn't make any sense to have like one power that could just be set on you, because like it's implied he said laws like power, so shambles should still have an effect on you like after you're put technically back to your right body, so it don't make any sense.
And I was gonna ask you. I was gonna start off with Lawrence first because I do want to give you a chance to talk, man. Um, I was gonna ask you which one you think was the worst fake out death, Conjuros, Orochis, or Kinemons?
I would say like since all of them is pretty like honky dory, boy, but I'll
Hmm.
probably say because like Kenny Mon had the probably the most like perfect and clear cut death. Conjuros, like he always like comes comes back and an ink clone and blah blah blah. So I say probably like Kenny Mons, because well he was basically showing you that he's getting impaled. This person has to die,
Right.
and yeah, and
And the
so
problem is, and the problem is the
you
way.
put so much emphasis on it. So, well, so if I had to give anybody, a real ass pool, I'd probably say Kenny Mon.
Hmm. And I think the problem is how he got stabbed. It's implied that
Yeah,
he got sliced in half, but the way you go back to the pound where Kato stabs him, he got stabbed like downward. It wasn't like a slice in half like Zoro slicing Pika or something. He got
yeah.
sliced downward like he would have stabbed like a steak like downward. Like, okay,
And
let me
before
put my
that,
camera. Now let me
he
put my camera back.
he
Okay.
yeah, and before that, like he tanked a Thunder bog of with hockey and clad on it.
Yeah, this dude's crazy strong, man. This dude's crazy strong, man. Like literally. Okay, so here's the thing, right? This would have
Hmm.
made it slightly better if he got sliced like this, right?
Hmm.
Because he's in half. But he got sliced like this. He should be
Yeah,
dead. That's not splitting you apart. You're
Yeah,
just
he
dead.
would slash downward, not across.
Right.
right.
Across.
So he should not be split in two like that. Splitting a perfect two.
No, he should.
Exactly.
So yeah. That one day would have made it slightly better. If Oda was planning this ahead, but I don't think he was.
Yeah, I mean, we still would have said, "Wait, why is this happening?" But at least it would have made sense.
I mean, it still don't really make sense, but it makes slightly more sense.
Yeah, it would have made some. I mean, I would still be questioning why did you choose to do this? What role does this have to play? But
And like I said, the role that has to play is that Oda either he's like Loner, he's still in his 15-year-old man child mind. And he doesn't want to kill off characters because these characters are real. I mean, I get loving the characters, but Jesus Christ, man. but
I mean, yeah, but
at the same time, it's like I've said before that I'm gonna cry. Like
45.
Wait, what? Oh, I stated before that
Oh,
I'm
wait a
probably
minute.
gonna cry killing off some of my characters, but I'm still gonna do it. You know.
Yeah, and it also kind of makes Kaido seem incompetent that he couldn't kill Kinemon despite trying to.
Well, to be fair, he's not really he's not really incompetent. It's just that like man, what's his name? Not R. Kelly. Is it R. Kelly? Like, I'm fighting for my life, man.
Let me see.
I'm
You
fighting my
see.
fucking life. You know what I'm
Last
talking about?
last night in Soho Way at 320.
I'm fighting for my fucking life. Like Kyle's fighting for his life, man.
I'm
He's
taking
trying he's
E11.
trying his hardest. Let me just mute Lauren for a sec. He's trying his hardest, but the author is literally working against him.
Yeah, Kaido to me is just
Like it's not his fault, man. Like listen, it's not Kyle's fault. Because literally, Kyle's like, wait, how am I supposed to know someone's gonna come back alive when I literally slice him in half?
yeah, especially when the god that created me is not allowing me to.
Literally, Kaido was going for all the kill shots. He drew Luffy off a freaking island. A sky island. He stabbed Kinemon in half. He cut him in half. How are these people alive, man? I'm trying my hardest out here.
You gotta love how Luffy's been sidelined recently because
Yo, Long, you want to mute for a sec? Yo, Long, what's up? This man talking to his bunkai.
what happened?
He's talking to his Zanpakuto. Because Kibo wrote this chapter.
He's talking to one of his homies, and I mean, soul fruit homies.
All right. But,
I swear I'm hearing Crash say "whoa" in the background.
who?
Never mind.
Who was that?
You don't know who Crash Bandicoot is?
Oh, Crash Bandicoot.
Yeah. He goes, "Wow."
I think it's probably somebody's baby or something.
Could be. But here's something
All right, I'm back.
that I'm sure other people have suspected.
Okay, so Lauren, basically what we were saying when you left was like,
Yeah.
you know R. Curly, I'm fighting for my fucking life, man.
Yeah.
I was basically saying Kyle was basically like that because he's trying his hardest, he's doing his role as a villain, but the author is against him, man. Like the author's just holding him back.
Kaido's like,
Kaido hasn't killed anybody.
Kaido's saying to Oda, "Daddy, please stop doing this to me. I need to succeed."
He couldn't even
My
kill
fucking life, man.
a small kid.
It's like Kaido couldn't even kill a freaking fly. He stomps on it and just flies away perfectly fine.
Oldest stops him from killing the fly.
Yeah, he uses conquerors.
Yeah.
He uses conquerors and just strikes it with everything he has. Still can't kill that fly.
You better be glad, man. Oda better be glad Kyle doesn't have the fourth wall, no me. Just kind of
Right.
wait, there's another loner showed up. What's going on?
Whoa.
What the fuck?
He's duplicating himself and his power.
Well, that was scary.
He literally has
I got
become
the
the loner
clone on
pirate.
me.
Yeah, I was seeing who that was. Like, I'm gonna kick them, whoever that is.
The loner
Someone's
pirates
hacking.
are now a crew of clones.
Someone's hacking, but
I just use my awakening on the stream, so Yeah.
Speaking of awakening, if I don't know if you were saying something, weren't you, Zay? Did I say Zay? Z.
Zay.
Yeah, your name is
Hey,
Zay.
Zaytoven.
Nah, Zay would be my name probably if I was a girl, like an alternate universe. Like,
Hey, you should change your name now to Zay Boy.
Zay boy.
Zay boy.
Zay boy. But
Hey, that's kind of fire.
No.
it is, isn't it?
But what was he talking about?
Who, me?
So yeah, man. What was he talking about though?
something about awakening. You was talking about.
Who, me?
Yeah,
Yeah, think so.
Yeah. So what I was gonna bring up is, since we've gotten the awakenings of Kid and Law, can we
yeah.
assume that Luffy's is also going to happen in this arc?
Hmm.
I'm not
Yeah,
sure. I'm not sure.
sure. I guess.
I mean, I feel like that's probably what Oda's going to do, using this as like, hey, two of the supernovas used it. Wonder who's going to be next.
I mean, that'd
But
be better than a Gear 5. Like, I don't need. We don't need a Gear 5.
true. Um, unless
Yeah.
Gear 5 is the awakening.
A gear probably should be like towards the end game ish.
Well, considering what he usually does with his gears now, I mean, at least with Gear 4, a Gear 5 would probably be used in conjunction with Awakening, just like how Gear 4 is based around using hockey to make it work. Right.
That's a good point.
Um, but
But see, I don't know because of the fact that so far it seems like Luffy, what he's just gonna do instead of having another gear is that he's just gonna have different type of versions of the Gear 4 that he's kind of
yeah,
doing.
so like a version of Gear 4 that he uses. Well, he still doesn't have one that's used with Conquerors because he
Yeah,
has Snake Man.
he's probably gonna become I don't know, rifleman or
He turns into a tank.
no, I was saying rifleman because of the fact that he's gonna have a speed form. Well, no, okay, snake form. Snake man's not technically a speed form, but maybe a form that makes him run faster or something like.
He's gonna call it Gazelle Man.
Oh, you spoiling One Piece.
Am I?
He's probably gonna call his man. He's gonna have a giraffe man form. He's gonna have a long neck.
I think you might call himself like Monkey King.
Oh my god, that'd be his final form.
Yeah, and it's also kind of funny because his last name is Monkey.
So you
Um,
don't like the rubber world idea?
I do, as long as it's not just, hey, I can bungee jump anywhere now, or
But
not bungee jump. I didn't mean bungee jump. I meant God, what do they call those again? That you
like a
you
ping
jump.
pong thing?
I do like the ping pong thing, the pinball idea, but if that's all it is, I'm gonna be pretty disappointed.
Ping ball sounds kind of like Snake Man.
Yeah, probably.
I feel like
Yeah.
I feel like if his fruit's going to affect the ground and objects, why can't it affect the air as well as his opponents? Because picture this, right? Say
Mhm.
say his opponent has a sword and goes to try and cut him. Maybe
Mhm.
maybe the sword becomes rubber and like bends out of the way to not cut him. Or maybe
Yeah, that could be cool.
something else he could do is his opponent goes to punch him, and kind of similarly to what Kid did, he makes the opponent's arm turn into rubber, and it like stretches around and hits his opponent in the face instead.
I mean that that'd be pretty
See,
cool, and it also be
but
keeping
it'd be too much similar to Kid then.
True.
Yeah.
But maybe the idea could be that his awakening could kind of borrow concepts from both Law and Kid, because they do kind of have some. Maybe I shouldn't say similarities. I mean, obviously Luffy's more.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like Kid, he's prone to being reckless. He's not a thinker and strategist like Kid. I mean, did I just say Kid twice? I meant Law. But like Kid, Luffy is also capable of, um, figuring out his opponent's fighting style and trying to find a weakness for it. So he's kind of similar to Law in that respect. Um, so maybe Oda could say that Luffy is in a way becoming like a combination of the two, and his awakening could kind of symbolize that in a way. Um, I mean, hey, if it's just he can bounce off of anything like he's a professional wrestler, all right, I'll have to accept it. But I'd kind of hope for something more than just the ground and things he can bounce into becoming basically trampolines. Um,
I thought you were going to say the ground and stuff become like what Dofi had, and I was going to say that wouldn't happen because Luffy's a physical fighter. Like I feel like Oda's just gonna keep him completely physical. It's not gonna be a situation where It's not gonna be a situation where Luffy basically has like a Susanoo. He's gonna
oh,
have
yeah,
everything Luffy's gonna do is gonna be
yeah,
hands on himself, not
and
like yeah.
and that's also why I would suggest that Luffy's fruit won't be that way because every other Paramecia we've seen who has awakened, their fruits all produce something. Doflamingo could,
Right.
could create strings. Katakuri could turn himself into mochi and even, produce mochi from his body.
Okay. So,
Then you have Law who creates his rooms for effects. And then, of course, there's Kid with the magnetism. Luffy's fruit is literally just his body being rubber like.
Mm.
So, wouldn't it make more sense if his awakening
and I
was
can see that if
basically just an enhancement to what he already has? Maybe he can go into his gears right off, one right after the other without having to blow air into his body. Maybe he can
okay,
just
that could work.
change his size. Maybe he could do
Yeah, that should
something like um I don't know, bulk himself up. Maybe he could, you know what I mean. Maybe he could even use a gum fistle. A fistle? Wow,
right.
sorry about that. Pistol. Maybe he could even use gum fistle. Wow.
Gum Gum
Me,
Fist.
I think I'm
Gum
having a
gum
stroke
fistle.
here, fellas. One second.
Gum
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 Maybe
fistle.
Fisting.
maybe he could even use a gum pistol without, how he usually when you know how he usually punches by kind of pulling his arm back and like
Yeah,
throwing a
we
punch.
know about the Gun Gun pistol by now. Yeah.
Yeah.
What if he could use a gum pistol in Awakening where he just points and shoots, kind of like Gein's Bankai in a way, where it just stretches, boom, 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 and his fist is just coming at you. Um, you know, just basically point and shoot,
So you want
essentially.
him to have the CP9 attacks?
Yeah, except he would just stretch his finger out to hit you. He wouldn't have to throw a
Seems
punch.
legit.
He could just stretch his arm out, and it would be a lot faster. He could actually hit you, many times with a
Mhm.
single arm.
Right.
I get what you mean. It would be
Yeah.
like how to describe. Okay, so it'd be like he could just be standing still and just like
Mhm.
that.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
Right.
exactly. Literally turning his arm into like a machine gun.
right.
Um, and that would also still allow Luffy to be a physical fighter because he's still using physical attacks to hit you. Um,
Hey guys, I gotta head out. But I just wanted to just pop in and show my boys some love.
Hey man, we appreciate it, man.
Yeah, man.
always a pleasure.
Good- always good stream, man.
Likewise.
For sure, bro.
All right, appreciate it.
Appreciate it, bro.
Have a good one. Um, so yeah, that would be my idea.
I got
And
a
I'm
question. What do you think? Okay, so this kind of obvious because I mean this can't be the only thing that Oda does. Because right now it's disappointing. Do you think we'll get more things that Kid and Law's Awakening can do?
I do,
Okay,
and maybe I'm being a little too optimistic here, but considering how long Big Mom and Kaido have been around for, there's no reason for them not to have awakenings as well.
right.
Especially Big Mom, because she's had hers since she was a little kid. she's in her late 60s now.
Mm-hmm.
There's no reason why she shouldn't have awakening. Kaido, he's a different case because he's only had it for like 20 years. Big Mom's had it a lot longer than he has. So,
That's a
I
good
mean,
point.
I would hope that the Yonko would have awakenings. Those that have devil fruits, with maybe the exception of Blackbeard because he hasn't had his fruits that long. But Big Mom and Kaido, there should be no excuse for them not to have awakenings.
Yeah.
Because that would be like Whitebeard not having an awakening, and that would just be too ridiculous for me. I mean,
Good point.
and I mean, otherwise, if she doesn't have an awakening, and Kid and Law hit her with even more, I mean, they already made her. Law already made her bleed.
Which is pretty impressive. That was cool to see.
Yeah, so I don't really see how Big Mom is
I
gonna
think he's the
turn the.
first character that made Big Mom bleed so far that we saw.
Yeah, well, actually, if I'm not mistaken, didn't he make her bleed twice?
In this chapter?
No, in this arc.
I don't. He might have did. I think he did actually. Yeah.
Or am I thinking of Kaido? Because I think he definitely.
I don't remember Kyle ever make Mom bleed.
No, maybe I'm thinking of Law making Kaido bleed.
I don't know, but I feel like she might did bleed twice in this arc.
Yeah.
I feel like if I was super childish, I could easily make a certain joke, but that's not. Um,
Yeah, I would really hope that Big Mom has awakening because they're the Yonko. I mean, the Yonko, they are impressive, but to me, if you're part of the Yonko and you have a devil fruit and you've been around for multiple decades, many decades, there's no excuse for you not to have fully mastered your fruit. And awakening is part of that. I don't necessarily think every fruit has an awakening.
yeah, you're right. The Awakenings have kind of created a kind of plot hole, I guess, in a way of which kind of justifies more people's because people were, when Marine Force first came out for years and years, people was like, Marine Force easily the best arc of One Piece, yada, either that or in his lobby. And nowadays, people are kind of like, I don't really like Marine Force that much. Like, it kind of messed up the power system and such. And that's a good point because it's like, why in a war would people not go all the way out? Why would
Yeah,
Alkaji, is not even just Alkaji, why would a freaking Akainu not immediately use his awakening to try to kill Whitebeard, try to kill Ace,
I mean,
it's like they treated the war almost like as of a training arc. Like everybody held back during a war, like
I'm,
absolutely ridiculous
I mean,
when you think about it. Like it's kind of I still love Marine Corps, I still love the emotional impact of brains. I still love the idea of all the big names coming together. But it does definitely they maybe should have had less top tiers there in retrospect. Because it does lead the idea of why. Can you imagine Akihiro just being like, I'm gonna use my awakening, and he's just like, well, why didn't you use this before? The same way in which I know, many people. Cause I pretty much knew everything that was gonna happen in this chapter. It still was annoying to see. Up front, you know. Oh wait, what? Why does people keep making clones?
sorry about that. I don't know what happened. I got dropped from the call for some reason.
But it still shows you there.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. All I know is you were talking, then I couldn't hear you, and then I got dropped. I definitely hear you on that with Marineford. Aka Inu does seem the type to not care about, killing himself and or others, so long as it means he can take down his prey. I would assume that Aka Inu wouldn't care about, just destroying in the entirety of the base if it meant killing Whitebeard.
Oh, okay. Wait a minute. So was that ever the given explanation of why everybody didn't go all the way out of Marineford?
Yeah, I mean, with Whitebeard, remember, he was only there to rescue Ace and probably just wanted to dip out. He probably just wanted to run in, grab Ace, get out, and sail away.
Okay, so I get that for White, but was that explained for everybody? That's why everybody didn't go all the way out.
No, it wasn't, but I could assume that, you know, the Marines aren't going to want to endanger the lives of themselves. Aka Inu, yeah, he's crazy enough to not care. But
Okay, so Oda comes out with that. I will accept that.
yeah, Kuzan, I cannot see. I can't see Kuzan saying, "Well, I don't give a crap about my underlings. I'm just going to freeze them all to death and try to take Whitebeard with us." I don't think.
But until then, it still kind of leaves
Kizaru, I don't see caring. Kizaru, I could just see him saying, "Well, I'm just going to nuke the hell out of everything here."
Yeah.
It looks like you're saying Winemon, but not instead of Winamon.
Oh, I'm tripping.
It's like Winemon. He's an all powerful Digimon.
He uses the power of wine.
You know, it's crazy we say that.
I'm actually not tripping because I meant to have a dub in front of his name.
It's crazy. It's crazy you just said that because you know Oda could make an incredibly powerful fruit out of wine. Look what he did for Mochi.
Very true, man. Very true.
This man could take pasta and make an overpowered fruit out of it.
I mean, somebody shot pasta from their nose.
I mean, even Cracker's fruit was kind of crazy.
I just thought something like a funny edit or something where Keemon's like, Keemon Digivolves to dead. Seriously though, how much pain is in Keem? Like, okay, I guess we just gonna say he's in shock.
Yeah, he's experienced so much pain. He might as well change his name to Nagato.
Yeah, man. Like this dude's in half. Just save Kiku though. Like
he's received so much pain. He can now use Chibaka Tensei.
This man has Whitebeard level endurance.
I mean, kind of. The only difference being that Whitebeard had his brain exposed.
Yeah, that was ridiculous. That was crazy, man. It was awesome though. Whitebeard is one of them characters that's so awesome that you don't care how ridiculous it gets.
No, you definitely don't. I mean, the man is in some respects the embodiment of ridiculousness.
He's the body of masculinity, the body of the manly man.
Oh yeah, that is a great way to put it.
He has to the restaurant. However you say that word, to restaurant.
Testosterone.
That's a testosterone. Yes, testosterone. Say it one more time.
Testosterone.
Testosterone poisoning.
Don't beat yourself up if you can't pronounce it correctly. It's not an easy word to pronounce.
Testosterone poisoning.
Speaking of not testosterone, but I noticed how in the beginning of the stream you were struggling to pronounce anesthesia.
Wait, I said anesthesia?
Yeah, that first move that Law used.
Oh, that's what he was saying?
Yeah, but what's kind of confusing is anesthesia is what puts people to sleep during, so the surgery can be performed on them. Big Mom did not go to sleep, so why is that called anesthesia?
Maybe the next time we see her, she would be sleeping.
If he called it morphine and said that it numbs her to the pain of his attack, and then she feels the pain afterwards, that I could see. But why anesthesia? That literally just puts you to sleep.
Yeah, because I mean, we could, like, next time we see Big Mom, she's just freaking like
in whatever the next chapter when we see them fight.
Like
The
she's just
effect,
down on the ground. She's just
yeah, the effect finally take place, and she falls on the ground sleeping, and they just bolt out of there and say, "We can't finish this fight, so we'll return later."
I mean, it probably will be something like that because I mean, as much as Oda likes to make Big Mom punching bag, he still makes her never be able to be defeated
Yeah,
by these.
I don't think she's being defeated by those two.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to downplay Kid and Law here, but let's be honest.
Even though Big Mom pretty much accomplishes nothing because Oda hates his antagonist characters apparently.
Yeah, it's weird, right? Because
They never kill anybody besides Akainu.
well, Akinu's not dead.
I mean, then if they do kill people, it's in
Oh,
their.
you meant Akainu killed people. Well, I mean,
I'm
kind
not
of.
villain. I'm talking about Oda allowing his villains to end people's lives. The only time they kill people is in their backstories, which is weird. Only time
Yeah,
people die, like Oda allows people to die is backstory.
it's. I mean,
Kimon is lucky that he didn't get sliced by Kaido in a backstory.
he is. He's lucky he didn't get backstabbed in a backstory.
Yeah, I mean he gets backstabbed, has just come back to park because apparently Law's ability lasts. But,
I mean, at this point, Oda might as well have said, "Can Amon
oh my
secretly?"
goodness, I'm just
What,
imagining something.
what's that?
Imagine freaking Law has split Ace apart, and then freaking Akino would have punched Ace in half or something. And then it's like this big drawing scene where Luffy's crying and stuff, and Ace giving his normal speech. And then after the time skip, Ace just shows back up and he says, "Law's ability was still affecting me." That's basically what
He
happened.
used shambles at the last minute to like kind of hole punch Ace so that his innards would be separated from his body,
he
and then
did
they just
so.
go back into him.
He did so Luffy can owe him. As much as
No,
funny as it sounds, it's pretty much the same thing. Like this dude got
no.
stabbed in half. It is.
What?
The dude
What?
got stabbed in half, and just because Law it was using his ability on him, he's still around. Is he's
What I
literally bleeding?
what I was gonna say is maybe Law did to Ace what he did to Smoker, where his heart was like stored in some kind of a cube and it was popped out of him. So he did that to Ace as he was about to get hit by Akainu.
He's like, now you owe me one, Luffy.
God. So was there anything else? Oh. So
Okay, so we never you, Loner, and pretty much the entire One Piece community, because you, Loner, and the entire One Piece community have only been focused on Kid, Law, and the fact that Kimon and Orochi are alive. I mean, and but what hasn't been focused on is what was going on with Apu, and I mean, I guess it's nothing major, but Apu and Hawkins at the beginning of the chapter, like
you mean Apu and Drake?
let me go back and see.
It was Apu and Drake.
Let me see. Yeah, Drake. Yeah, Apu and Drake.
He's gonna start saying, used to call me on my cell phone.
I just imagine Drake hitting a dance, and that's how he awakens.
God, so yeah, apparently Apu is telling Drake that he wants to partner up so they can both, get something out of their deal by, I guess, killing Kaido and leaving with something that will benefit them. Personally, I think Drake's gonna be like, "Nah, dude," pulls out his sword and just says, "I'm gonna kill you." I think that's probably what Drake's gonna do. What I what I will say, what I did not realize until I read the official release, you'll notice that there are three numbers in the background there, like in the same area, looking at them as they're having their conversation. I did not know. Hmm?
I said, uh huh.
I did not know at first that those numbers are actually with Apu. Their dialogue suggests that they're because I was thinking, why are those three just sitting there not doing anything? Are they going
I
to
was
attack?
saying it too. I was thinking it too. I was like, it's just kind of random.
But
It's
when I read the official chapter, I came to the conclusion that, oh, okay, so they're not doing anything because Apu, I guess, must be their commander or something.
I mean, they're eating and drinking, so they was probably just chilling. And then it seemed like what happened was Apu was just sitting down, just eating and drinking with these guys, and then Drake pulled up, probably threatening to kill Apu, and then Apu was like, "Hey, let's just work together." That's what seemed like what happened.
Yeah, um, which I don't think Drake's going to agree to because why would he? I mean, you know, I mean, unless he could use it to his advantage to assist him in his job. Which, if I'm not mistaken, I don't think we know what Drake was actually tasked with doing because he must have been told by whoever's in charge of his operation to join Kaido in secret, right? So is he there to um not maybe not kill Kaido himself, but is he there to ensure the downfall of Kaido, or is something else going on? Like,
Mm.
I mean, I guess with the whole CP0 thing, it's entirely possible that he could be in with them, maybe, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's possible. Yeah, I almost had forgot some of the things that happened in this chapter because I was so much thinking about everything else that was going on. But it's nice to see. Talk about some good though. It's nice to see Usopp and Nami together. They're always like a fun dynamic.
Yes, they definitely do. I wish they could. I wish they were given more to do than just sitting around at this point. I mean,
I mean, Usopp's gonna do stuff in Elbow, we know, but yeah,
yeah, I mean,
almost riding on the back of you know, the who she tamed.
I,
Um,
do you think this arc is nearing its conclusion?
I would have done that earlier, but I mean, it depends if Act 3 is ever gonna end. I mean, it could end next chapter.
It
It
could
could
it could end in 20
end,
years.
huh?
It could end in 20 years.
I
The
don't know. I mean, if it ever ends, but I would have thought, that was nearing the end. It's not for the fact that pretty much every player is still around. Um,
True.
freaking it seemed like Drake and Apu got knocked the fuck out. You just got knocked the fuck out. But they're around, which isn't that bad because they weren't implied to be dead. So that's not really there's a difference there between them just haven't got defeated, and still being kicking. I mean, Apu seems to not be damaged at all after fighting Zoro, which is kind of interesting. No, no, never mind. He's a little damaged. It's just in this first panel, he looks like he's just chilling. He's still bleedy. He's still bloody and stuff. But yeah,
Yeah.
they got knocked the fuck out. Drake and Apu, but they're still up the fight. Everyone who we thought was dead or who probably Oda, you probably didn't think they was really dead.
To,
Um,
yeah. And
they're
on that note,
they're still kicking. I mean,
this was
Kiku is fucked up. Like Jesus Christ, Kiku just got his eye popping out, just bloodied over there. Like Kiku went from beautiful to just fucked up. It's pretty sad to see. Like Kiku just over there dying, man. It's actually sad. Um, you know, but yeah,
I mean,
this chapter is pretty gory. Kanjuro's riding with his blood. No, is that Kanjuro or? And it looks like Orochi's holding something. He might be holding Kanjuro's paint. No.
every time I see Orochi, I just want him dead. I really just want him dead. Like, my God, why can't you just die?
I mean, you're supposed to hate him.
I know, but come on, Oda, really? Like,
I mean, doesn't he have like 8 heads or something? Like 7 or 8 heads or something like that?
if Orochi does not die in the most satisfying way this arc, and he ends up becoming like a new Caesar where he's still around. Oh,
This was interesting. As you wish, actually, like I mean, Caesar's actually kind of funny though. But as you wish, please enjoy my final show, the Suicide Pact of the Kurazuki clan. I want to give a little bit analysis on this part right here. As you wish, please enjoy my final show, the Suicide Pact of the Kazuki clan. Kazinbu and this giant just flame shadow ghost thing disappears. I'm just going back over the chapter so we can talk about it. What's your thoughts on that?
on what?
This giant flame thing.
It's cool, but I don't remember Kanjuro being able to use his Devil Fruit in that way.
Okay,
Because
so I need a real refresher. What does Rochi's fruit do again? Now maybe help us.
we don't really know much about what it can do. I mean,
Hold on. I gotta take this call real quick. Okay, dude, I'm back. What was I saying? Oh yeah, I was basically trying to figure out what was Orochi's ability again? That's what I was asking.
I really don't know. It seems
I'm gonna
as
look it up.
though
I'm gonna go to the One Piece wiki.
yeah, he's just been that forgettable to me that it's not even that I hate him. It's he's been I can I can hate a character and still find them interesting. It's just with Orochi, it's like, yeah, I have a seemingly cool fruit,
I mean, his backstory is interesting. Like how
but you
his
what
backstory is
you just
interesting.
turn into a 9 or 8 headed dragon type thing, and that's all you can do. Like,
Okay, he's is a mythical zone type fruit that allows him to transform into a full 8-headed snake and a human 8-headed snake hybrid at will. He primarily uses this power to imitate people. As a zone user, he receives a boost of his physical abilities, yeah. And his 8-head snake form, he's able to deal with several, yeah. Okay, so yeah, it doesn't really say what it can do.
I would assume that because of the fact that he is still alive, probably means that when you cut off one head, maybe he's got a
Yeah,
life
I was
for
right. I was
every
right.
head.
He has 8 heads. Yeah, he has 8 heads.
I think he's lost 2 or 3 heads now. I think he's actually got less heads than he used to have. But I don't know for sure. Um, Oda used to explain devil fruit abilities as they were used in the story, but with Orochi, for whatever reason, he just doesn't seem interested in doing that.
Because Orochi hasn't really done nothing different with it.
I mean,
It says his ability allows him to survive a decapitation up to 7 times.
okay, but the Orochi has like 8 heads.
I
So,
mean, the wiki, I guess, is messing up because it says 7 times,
well, by 7 times, it probably means lose 7 heads, and you have 1 head remaining, which is the 8th.
which is death.
Yeah.
Because you
But then
lose
again,
your
knowing Oda, he probably won't die.
possible.
He'll get his head cut off again and be like, "Oh nope, I'm alive."
And besides that, it's just the normal Zoan abilities where you just get increased durability and physical strength. So he
I,
hasn't
I
really
mean,
done anything like unique with it. So
yeah,
it's not that we're really forgetting stuff. It's just that Lily has not really done anything.
it's it, it
Besides, it has really not done anything besides be a cheat, a cheat, a cheat move, a cheat code, a cheat sheet.
yeah.
For
Quite honestly, at this point, Orochi he has the most underwhelming mythical zone fruit so far. I don't want to say ever because there might be something that's even more underwhelming, but
I can agree with that. I mean, being able to survive 7 times is pretty crazy. It's just that the fact that this is used as a plot device is what makes it annoying.
yeah, I mean, you'd think that since he's a dragon or some kind of mythical snake, that he'd at least have maybe like some kind of toxic breath or venom spit or something. Um,
He'll probably start using it out of nowhere.
or even I mean, I know it's gonna sound crazy, but why can't he regrow heads?
Okay, so I got a question. What was Orochi holding?
I don't remember.
You want to link to the chapter?
And I'm not really able to look right now.
Okay. Well, I don't know if he's holding either. Then. Um.
Um,
Yeah, Conjuro has
Maybe it
great.
could be Conjuro's brush.
I don't know that because it looks like there's a full part of the brush in another panel. I was thinking he's holding Conjuro's brush. Then I wasn't sure because it looks like. All right, let me go back a little bit.
Maybe it's possible. Oh, fuck.
Okay, so huff huff, that's flyer in the here. Can you hear the cheers you earned for me? And okay, so then it looks like Conjuro's knocked out. Then it looks like he's opened up his eyes. And then it looks like Orochi might have grabbed his brush and then start writing stuff down. It's hard to
Possibly.
say. It's kind of hard to say.
Very possible. Um, but I guess we'll see soon enough.
And then he grabbed this whole flame demon thing.
I'm honestly, if anyone's going to kill Orochi at this point, I think it's going to be CP0.
Like think so? How many
Yeah,
heads? I don't even know how many heads Orochi has left.
they're probably going to come in there and say, you've done as we you've done the job we gave you to do. Now you're of no use to us. The government is coming. The Gorosei / world government are coming to take over. You can go die. You can just die, and maybe Lucha just cuts his head off or something. I don't know.
Like cuts all his heads off at once.
Yeah, like he uses like a Rankyok kicks and then just slices all his heads off.
Yeah, that would be fitting.
Because I assume Lucci is coming to Wano because we saw him on what looked to be the room of one of those ships. So I guess he's going there.
And yeah, I mean, important point is Momo's finna stop the island.
Yeah, I'm a little worried about Yamato. I know One Piece characters don't usually die, but I really hope Yamato is not gonna run into that explosion and get taken out by it.
Well,
Because
what happened is unless she got taken out by it and she'll show up back later again.
I mean, maybe she could use her ice ability to kind of cool down the explosion or something. I know that makes no sense whatsoever.
Well, yeah, and the point is, I don't know if you heard me in my reaction, but I thought this was so cool how Kyle's like using his flame breath and like his base form.
Yeah, I wanted to touch on that too.
I
To
wish we
me,
got to touch on this stuff more with Lauren, but we was kind of going in circles on the same topics, you know, as if nothing else happened in the chapter, you know, which is kind of the same that the community's been doing too. So
I think that's another reason why I was disappointed with this chapter. I want to get back to freaking Kaido. I want to freaking get back to Kaido because Oda, if you didn't have Big Mom show up in this freaking arc, this arc could have been first of all, it could have been over a lot sooner. And second of all, Oda, if you didn't have Big Mom show up in this freaking arc, are you playing it back?
I was making sure the volume was fine.
I mean, I can talk lower if you want me to.
I was seeing if it was fine.
Okay.
You don't have to change it with nothing.
I can talk.
Make sure, because there's been times where I had like an hour when I'm talking and then the audio wasn't working. So I have to do that sometime.
Okay, I got you. But yeah, I'm gonna try not getting upset about the whole Kaido thing because now he's basically off screening Luffy versus Kaido, which is ridiculous.
Do you think he would all screen Sanji versus Queen or Zoro versus King?
He pretty much already is.
I don't know, cause it seems like Sanji is just running away, cause he doesn't want to deal with the whole race thing.
Well, I mean, we haven't seen Zoro do what we got one panel of him, blocking King's sword with his own.
It looks epic though. It looks epic though on King's part because he's literally using one blade. Zoro has full hockey on his blades, and King is just swinging one blade at him, and then Zoro's just struggling.
Yeah, if Big Mom wasn't in this arc, we'd be getting the whole Kaido focus.
Luffy's in freaking Gear 4 and that's getting off screen. Holy shit.
I mean, unless...
That's how you know that this isn't going to end.
It better not. That's why... It's actually why I think that Kaido will have an awakening. Because... it would be so unsatisfying for us to go back to Luffy versus Kaido. And Kaido at this point can't even, transform into his Zoan form, and then just beat him that way. It would be so underwhelming.
I'm sorry, but so is Orochi gonna dip because he says this pirate war is no longer any of our business.
I think what he means is he's gonna just leave Kanjuro to die and go somewhere else.
Wow, what the fuck, boy?
I mean, it's Orochi. Do we really expect him to be,
Right.
He's self-serving. He doesn't care about anybody but himself.
Right. What was you gonna say?
I really hope that the Luffy and Kaido fight's not going to end with Kaido being defeated the next chapter we go back to it. And then, that was it. I mean, see, Oda, this is why you should not make your arcs bloated with too many characters, because it makes a mess of things. And having Big Mom here just made it so he had way too many things to focus on at once. jumping around from here, jumping around there, all over the place. It's just
Yeah, true.
maybe it would have been.
You should be used to it by now, though.
I mean, I should be used to it by now, but I keep hoping that Oda's going to turn over a new leaf and say, "All right, I'm going to make up for my past."
You're like a beaten housewife.
I guess I can. I guess we all are kind of.
I'm not. I told you I'm not obsessed over One Piece no more.
I mean, I'm not really upset. Well, I'm only upset. I'm only obsessed because I have OCD. That's different. I mean,
that Inko sovereignty was pretty crazy.
Yeah, and I'm not. I'm at the point now where I'm pretty much expecting the rest of the series to suck. I really am. I mean, like this arc is the way it is. Shanks is probably going to get killed off screen.
He's not going to die.
I hope not.
No, he's not going to die because Oda doesn't like killing off characters because when he was 15.
Well, I'll be happy if he doesn't like killing Shanks off because I'm kind of tired of that whole generic, main characters.
I'm surprised you should turn your leaf on that, guy. I've been telling you from so long. I do not like the idea of shitty stinking Blackbeard killing off Shanks.
I don't like it either. You know what I would prefer, which is never going to happen. I'd prefer it if Luffy was like, well, you know what? No more no killing. I'm going to burst your heart.
Damn, Luffy.
Like,
I'm going to burst your heart, and then I'll become Pirate King, because you still got to keep the Luffy in there. But, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying stuff out loud, too, because I'm going back on the chapter and stuff. But, yeah, this chapter to me, it's a 6 out of 10, 6.3 maybe out of 10. Because, I mean, the real day alive is pretty dumb. But it is other stuff that happens. I mean, a lot of it's just kind of implications. Like literally all the players are still here, so this isn't ending anytime soon. We're either gonna get another act soon, because you know what? How much you want to bet? We thinking Act 3 would never end, but how much you want to bet it ends in like 2 or 3 chapters or something, or soon? Because the fact that everybody who we thought was knocked out, everybody who we thought was out of commission, or too tired to fight more, they show back up. So how much you want to bet that this act is going to end, so we can have more acts? Exactly, I know, right? It's a lot to bet on. But yeah, man. You want to give any final thoughts on this chapter? Get any predictions, Kat, so we can get out of here? I agree, Kat. I agree. Yo, what happened to Kat? This man he's Cat, but he became.
Oh wow! Did I muted myself. Sorry.
Your name is Cat, but you became as quiet as a mouse.
I should call myself I should call myself Mousecure. Never mind.
Dang, you finna genocide some mice?
No. Mousecure.
They're taking all the cheese.
Mousecure. I didn't even realize what I was saying. Okay, predictions. I will give 2. Law and Kid are probably going to be defeated by an awakened Big Mom. That's 1.
Mama.
At some point is what I mean. Not necessarily anytime soon, but at some point. Prediction number 2. I think this arc will end in 25 to 50 chapters.
Do you think this arc will end?
I mean, the arc, if it does end soon.
Talking about the act. Yeah, act. I remember it was like different acts.
Honestly, the act probably has because they say the fourth act would be quick, apparently. So I'm gonna say that maybe we'll have 30 more chapters left for this act.
Damn.
What, you think it's a lot more?
I think this act is gonna end in like 2 or 3 chapters.
I mean, it's One Piece. It's Oda.
I didn't
I
say
don't.
arc. I said act.
But the fact that we are heading towards
Cause remember, we already had 2 acts.
right, the fact that it seems as though we're coming towards the ending of this act, would lead me to believe that yes, it will end soon, but I do not expect it to end that soon.
Well, ending. I mean, 30 chapters is not soon. That's a long time. If you mean the entire arc, then yeah, maybe 30 chapters. But I'm talking about just the act, like Act 3 itself.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. All right. Let's say this act will end in 10 chapters at the most.
That
Is that
depends on what happens. Because I'm sitting thinking that Act 4 is where everybody kind of gets together, and then they maybe was like, okay, so we're gonna, this is gonna be the final battle, type of thing.
well, I mean, CP0 is coming, so obviously they're going to do some fighting.
Right, but I'm saying that because it seems like this is winding down. Either
Oh,
either
it is.
Act 3 never ends, and then it's just gonna be Act 3 ends and the arc ends, or Act 3 is ending very soon because it's just a way that everyone's getting back up. Like everybody
Yeah,
who should be out of commission, they're still ready to fight. They're still around, they're still kicking. So that's what really makes me think that this act is gonna end like very soon, like 2 or 3
yeah.
chapters, probably 5 or 6 at the most, unless we go somewhere else and see what's
Which
going on with Sabo or something. I
I,
mean,
I doubt that.
I don't know how else this can be stretched out. For this not to.
Well, someone's going to have to deal with CP0 because there's no way in hell Luffy and company are going to be strong enough to put up a fight against freaking CP0.
Right, but do you think you think we're gonna defeat CP0 in Act 3?
I'm not saying they're going to be defeated. Someone's going to have to jump in there to save the freaking Straw Hats and everyone else so they don't die.
I would imagine CP0 be safe for Act 4.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. They'll be saved for the final act.
Right. So that's why I think you get my point.
Yeah. So what you're saying is this act is going to wrap up the Kaido and Big Mom stuff.
Not really.
and-
I'm saying that since everybody's getting up, that this act is going to end super soon, so they
Okay,
can prepare for the next one.
So you're saying we're going to be dealing with CP0 and Kaido and Big Mom at the same time?
Possibly. I mean, I don't see why they would get defeated in this act. And then, I mean, why would Kyle get defeated in this act in his own arc when there's going to be another one?
Because I guess I'm kind of hoping he'll be defeated before getting embarrassingly slaughtered by CP0.
Wait, why would he get slaughtered by CP0?
Because he's losing strength as he's been fighting Luffy currently.
Wait, dude, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Wait. Okay, so here's the thing. The reason why I'm like, wait a minute, because it's like, why? Okay, so this is Kyle's arc. Okay, this is Wano. This is Kyle's arc. This is Island. There's no way he would. Okay, unless he gets defeated and he gets back up. There's no way he would just be down for the count.
Well,
this act, and there still be another act in Wano. You get what I mean?
I see what you're saying, but so all right. Let me put this. Let me put this into perspective. You know how Marineford was technically Whitebeard's arc, right? Because it was all about him trying to save Ace, and then towards the end, it focused a little bit on Blackbeard and him getting Whitebeard's fruit, and you remember, of course.
That was probably only like 5 episodes.
Right. What I'm suggesting is in this arc, CP0 are going to be in the role that Blackbeard was in Marineford, except they're going to be here a little bit longer than Blackbeard was.
I got you. That makes sense.
Um, would
I
I
can see
like
that.
it? Would I prefer it if Kaido wasn't down for the count and, got defeated and was still around for a bit longer? Of course I would. But, I mean, he's in his human form now. So that
I
tells
get,
me that he's his tank is kind of, running on empty. Um,
I can see your point.
I mean, maybe his awakening, if he has one, could get activated and maybe like bring him back to full strength again, which is entirely possible because I could see that happening. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Um,
I can see I can see your point on that with the whole Blackbeard Marineford thing.
and I'm still holding out hope. I'm still under the impression that Shanks and Blackbeard are going to show up at some point. I really do think that's going to happen with all the chaos that's been going on. There's no way Blackbeard is not going to show up there and try to take advantage of that.
I can see
And that
Blackbeard. I don't know why Shanks. I mean, I guess Shanks. The only reason Shanks would show up is
is
for
to
the
stop
fact that
Blackbeard. To
yeah.
stop Blackbeard and make sure he doesn't kill his favorite, straw hat wearing boy.
I mean, didn't he also say he wasn't going to interfere with Luffy's journey too much?
I mean, yeah, but he also said, "I'll meet you soon, Luffy." I mean, don't you? If Shanks was to find out right now that Luffy is fighting Kaido, don't you think he's going to be like, "All right, I'm going to head on out"?
I mean, I don't know because I mean, he wants Luffy to have, to get to his destination himself. The reason why he showed was Marineford wasn't specifically to save Luffy; it was to stop the overall war.
So what you're saying is Shanks doesn't care whether Luffy dies or not.
I mean, I'm not saying he doesn't care. It's just that Luffy's his own man. Luffy
Okay,
on his journey himself.
well,
That's kind of Shanks sees it.
all right. Well,
Yeah,
what about this?
I think at best, I mean, Shanks would like if he heard Luffy's fighting Kaido, he's like, "That's my Luffy," like he'd be like, "That's my Luffy. He's gonna win or something."
Okay, well,
Like he wouldn't be like,
what about this? Uh, Oda showed us a flashback of Shanks as a kid wanting to go to Wano to help out. He's an adult now. You don't think that could be a way to kind of, bring things
he
full
doesn't want
circle?
Luffy to meet him until Luffy gets to that point though. If he shows
Luffy's
him in
already
Wano, he
Luffy's
shows him
already a
in Wano.
great pirate. Luffy's already a great pirate. He's fighting one of the Yonko. Head on.
I
Like
mean that would be just. I feel like that would just be Oda trying to end the series early because I don't feel like.
you think Oda wants to wait until he becomes Pirate King for Shanks to meet him?
I mean, I love Shanks too. I just don't see any reason why Shanks would show up in Wano.
I mean, he said great pirate. I don't think that meant wait until Luffy has
And
become
I'm pretty
pirate.
sure Luffy's supposed to meet him himself.
I mean, like it just wouldn't make sense to me for Shanks to say, "Oh well, when I was a kid, I wanted to save Wano, but screw that, Luffy's there. I can't let him see me, even if it means everybody dies there."
Okay, so yeah, that's a little different because everybody died. But he wouldn't just show up just for Luffy. Not
No,
because
I'm
he
not.
doesn't care. Not because he doesn't care about Luffy, because he knows Luffy.
I'm
But
suggesting
more
he
because
shows. I'm suggesting he shows up there for the sake of Odin's people, somebody who he liked. You know.
that's possible.
Maybe even for Momonosuke's sake. Momonosuke would have been a baby at the time that Shanks was with Roger. He would have at
That's
least met
possible.
him.
I still don't see Shanks showing up in the same time as Luffy. I feel like
Well,
Shanks may show up like afterwards.
Luffy. Honestly, knowing Oda, Luffy might fall unconscious after using all of his strength, and he won't be able to see Shanks.
That's basically what I'm saying. That's basically what I'm saying.
He'll be night night.
That's basically what I was saying. I was saying that at best he would show up after Luffy.
Yeah, I don't think it's after Luffy leaves. I think it's when all the Straw Hats are too tired from exerting themselves and they just pass out.
That'd be kind of cool though. Like if oh shoot, I'm just thinking about some crazy like oh dude, I just thought about something that'd be kind of cool. What if like Luffy's knocked down and stuff, but Usopp gets a chance to talk with Shanks and he talks about his dad and it sets up Elbaf or something like that.
I mean, that'd be kind of unfair. Like, he doesn't want to meet Luffy, but he'll meet one of his crew members.
I mean, he's not meeting Pacific, just that Usopp sees him and they end up talking a little bit, and that gives Usopp a role in this arc because Usopp has
Yeah.
to fight.
The reason why I think
It gives Usopp a memorable moment in the arc. And he talks about his dad.
the reason why I think it makes sense for Shanks to see Luffy this arc is because I'm of the belief that Shanks is actually gonna, travel with them out of Wano to meet up somewhere. I believe that the arc in which Shanks plays a major role is going to be after this one.
What do you think gonna be after this? I always saw Elbaf is after this.
And I am under the impression it would to me make a lot of sense if Shanks was to be in Elbaf,
You know what? Maybe that's when he shows up. Like Shanks is just around the Elbaf, and then the Straw Hats show up, and they just end up on the same island like that. Like Shanks was already there.
Yeah, I feel like the only one that was preventing Big Mom from going to Elbaf was Shanks because he was there protecting it.
Like we just see Shanks just drinking with the giants, and then
yeah,
like, Luffy's here, and then Shanks has a shocked face. He's like, "I gotta hide."
I mean, I was even thinking you could have a moment where Luffy's on the verge of losing consciousness. He sees what he thinks is Shanks approaching, but passes out before he can actually get to him. Before Shanks actually gets to him, then he just carries the unconscious Straw Hats, puts them on their ship, and maybe even like leaves a note and says, meet me here when you wake up.
I mean, it's possible. I always just saw Luffy as the one who was going to meet Shanks. I thought that was the original agreement.
Yeah, but I mean, Luffy can't meet him unless he knows how to get to him. I mean, it's Oda. Oda will probably show us, give us a reason as to why, as to what specific point Shanks was waiting for Luffy to, to get to.
Your ideas aren't terrible. It just goes against what the story to me is betraying, because the story to me was portraying, and I mean not in Wano, but Marineford, Shanks is basically like, well, I can't meet Luffy now, because he's not there yet, and Luffy's supposed to meet me. Luffy's supposed to come back to me and give me the hat after he becomes a great pirate.
I mean, he's a great pirate now.
All the stuff. Remember, if you remember though, he said Luffy is almost there. He didn't say Luffy was there.
Well, I think what Shanks was like was,
remember he read the newspaper about Luffy becoming Yonko. He was like, "You're almost there, Luffy."
Yeah, I think that's what he means. He means once Luffy is strong enough to officially be recognized as one of the emperors, then Shanks gonna be like, "All right, he and I." It might be
he already knows Luffy's recognized one of the emperors, and he still said Luffy's almost there.
No, Luffy was not on the same level as the emperors.
How does Shanks know that? Shanks doesn't know that. Shanks read the newspaper, and he was like, "Luffy, you're almost there."
Shanks isn't an idiot.
Luffy, dude, go back and read the chapter. He was like, "You're almost there, Luffy."
You think Shanks believes what Big Bird writes in his?
I'm saying what I believe. I'm saying what happened in the story. Literally, in the story, Shanks was like, "You're almost there, Luffy."
I think Shanks can smell BS. And
so, he has no reason to be. He has no reason to be like, "Man, Luffy's a fraud. He sucks." He has no reason to.
He probably looked at it. I mean, for all we know, he could have observation hockey where when he reads something in paper, he can just immediately see what Luffy was doing there.
He has observation hockey to see through bullshit.
He can see what's in the paper, and he's like, so you took down Katakuri, did you? Well, once you defeat one of the four of us, then I'll meet you, because you and I will be on equal footing at that point.
It's possible, but
or I could be entirely wrong, and who knows? All I know is we've waited long enough. I think it's time for the man to be in the freaking story finally.
Hmm. But yeah, man. I mean, what would you give a final grade into this chapter before we head out?
Probably a 6.
Oh, so we both in the same boat with that.
I mean, I
It's
want to give it a 5.5, but that might be a bit biased. So
a five point
I think
five is lower than a 6.
yeah, I think a 6 is more fair than a 5. Um,
You know, a 6 is higher than a 6, right? I mean, wait, what? A 6 is higher than a 5, right? Like in the grading
yeah,
scale.
I know. That's why I said I think a 5 would be a bit unfair for this. So I'm gonna go with a 6 because it seems more fair.
A 5 is like either average, not even average. What would a 5 represent?
I believe 5 is actually below average personally.
A 5 is in the middle though, so maybe we aren't using it right. But I'm just gonna give it a
Yeah,
6.
actually, now that I think about it, well, some people say 7 is above average. I disagree. I think 6 is above average, and 7 would be like good.
Oh,
8.
7's not good. When I give 7s, I'm like, it was whatever, but
Okay, yeah.
it's a
Well,
little bit better
I
than
mean, I mean, if I'm going based on off of my own biases, I'd probably give this a 3.
that.
But that's not me. So if it's out of
You
10,
know, it's fine to give a 3 if you feel like it's a 3.
no, honestly, I really,
I think I've given One Piece a 3 before. I think I've given it a 3. I think I've given it like a 3 or a 2 or something. I given it a low ass score. Like I was so pissed. I had a whole rant. Like when they was drawing Big Mom off the ship. Like when Chopper was drawing Big Mom off the ship. I think that's when I gave the chapter like a 3 or a 2 because I was so fucking pissed. I'm like, she's a fucking Yonko. I was pissed. Like I think I gave a couple of chapters like a 3 or 4 during like Whole Island. Like it's been a
yeah,
while. You know what? I mean, I'm gonna give it a 5. I'm gonna give it a 5, to be honest.
yeah, that that
6 is
makes
too
sense to
good to
me.
me. I mean,
Like,
the only reason I almost gave it the only reason I'm thinking about giving it a 6 because I'm just thinking about how hype it is that Kylo can do that thing in his breath. But that's not nothing in this chapter happened to give it anything above average. Like it's not the worst thing ever. Like I may be even being too. If it wasn't for the fact that there was other things in this chapter besides the whole Kinemon, Conjure, and Rochi thing, this chapter probably would be a 3.
yeah, if this chapter was literally just those three and focusing on those situations and nothing else, it would definitely be a 3.
And I'm just thinking about too how my first initial hype was. Like when I first saw the part where it was talking about them having an awakening, I was like, "Yo!" But afterwards, it was a bit of a disappointment.
Yeah,
Um,
because they only really used one attack and then it ended like it was a Bleach chapter.
I'll just keep laughing at the Bleach chapter because I'm just imagining. I'm just
Because
like,
you know it's true, right? Oh, here's
right,
the Bankai. Here's one attack. I wonder what else it can do. Wait till the next chapter, or maybe second, or maybe 2 chapters.
right. And then the thing is basically just used for hype because we're not coming right back to it.
Oh,
Um,
knowing Oda, next chapter might even just go right back to Kaido and Luffy.
I
I
mean that'd be
mean,
cool, but at the same time, it gives him room to off screen things because he just skips around. But
yeah,
it's like finish one thing at a time, man. Or you
yep.
can focus on more than one thing, but if you're gonna focus on more than one thing, try to finish it up. Try
He
to
really should have just waited until he finished things up with Zoro, Sanji, King and Queen, and then moved on to Big Mom, and then moved on back to Kaido
or
instead
they
of just
can try to
bouncing
cover
around.
the Big Mom stuff a little bit before Sanji and Queen. I mean Sanji, and
Yeah,
Zoro and all that.
I
But
don't know.
yeah, I'm just gonna give it a 5. That's just gonna be my final score. I mean, it had potential to be a 6 because I mean, I don't know because I almost want to give it a 6, but I feel like it doesn't deserve a 6. So I'm just gonna keep it. I'm just gonna keep it a 5 and call it a day. So yeah. Any final? I mean, we already said final thoughts, so just want to head out.
Yeah.
All right, man. Let me pull up the to be continued up here so I can put it up for the chat. Hope y'all enjoyed the stream. Hope even if y'all didn't enjoy the chapter, that y'all enjoyed hearing us discuss it. And you did enjoy the chapter. Tell me what you enjoyed about the chapter. You know, I
Yeah,
personally
do
enjoyed it.
not let our opinions affect your personal views on this.
Right, absolutely. I mean, I was trying to, because what I try to do, I try to be like, I try to see stuff myself because I don't want to just, just because the community says something, um, you know, to be a bandwagon. I was trying to see
Yeah,
it for myself to see if it was actually as bad as people say,
right,
and it kind of is. I mean, they leave out some of the other things that happen in the chapter and kind of just focus on only the negatives, even if the positives aren't all that. Oh my God, they're still positive. Which I
right. And there's also, last thing I'm going to say on this. There's also the possibility that some may have really found the parts with Kinemon in this chapter to be really entertaining, and it didn't bother them because they thought it was funny, and there's nothing wrong with that.
right. I thought it was too weird even for One Piece, but maybe
Yeah,
that might be a weird opinion to have because like what is too weird for One Piece? I mean they're just having a whole conversation. His body's just in half, and they're just blood coming out of his bottom half. It's just like what the freak is going on?
at
But
this point, what isn't too weird for One Piece?
yeah, I guess that's a fair point too. I mean it's not the fact that it's so weird for One Piece, but just the reaction to it is just so like I don't know. Maybe it's because they're used to weird things. Who knows? But maybe I'll die about that too much. But yeah, anybody, like I said, we can give me a different opinion on that. We finna head out. Peace, like and stripe. Allah, stay tuned for the next one.
That